And welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. This is Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins and 3 crazy rescue dogs who likes to craft, is training for Ironman, and is going back to school to be an ASL interpreter. This is take number 3 for me. Every time I think I'm working on this, one of the dogs hits the computer keyboards or I get interrupted by somebody. So I don't know what I've already told you and what I'm going to tell you, and welcome to the insanity. So if you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a little message. It boosts my self-esteem. And we can all use that, especially right now. If you're returning, welcome back to the crazy. You know what you're in for. Sign of the week. Let's start there because why not? So sign of the week is popcorn, and I don't think I've shared this one with you guys yet, but this is popcorn. So popcorn, I like. Popcorn, you like? Yes. Popcorn is just a fun one. I eat popcorn at the movie. Yeah. My dogs are in a mood now. Welcome to the crazy. For those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, I don't know why you wouldn't, but you know, whatever. We all have our things. Some people don't do Instagram. First of all, let me back up. I hope everybody's Christmas was fantastic. I hope you guys all got what you needed. If you celebrate, and that you just had an enjoyable, peaceful day. I had a good day, despite we had ham. We don't usually do ham for Christmas. Usually ham is like a New Year's Eve. As I was growing up, that's what we did with my grandparents. And my grandmother used to put the pineapple rings with the cherry in the middle on the ham. And she would always put brown sugar and yellow mustard mixed up over the ham and then base it with Werner's. It was always good. That's all I can tell you. And that's how I do mine now. Well, I don't do the pineapple rings and the cherries, but I do the brown sugar mustard Werner's thing. My son was cutting the ham and cut his finger, so we ended up with a trip to the ER. He's fine. He didn't even need stitches. The problem is that it kept opening and would start splurting blood everywhere, and I couldn't get that to stop, so that's why we took him in just to be double safe. He's fine. He also got a coffee mug from me that said, playing French horn stops me or keeps me from being a porn star. My mother is greatly offended by this mug, which makes it even funnier to me because if you guys those of you who know me know that I don't have the best relationship with my mother, and I'm okay with that now. For a long time I wasn't, but really and truly, I'm okay. I have other great women in my life who have taken on that mother role as I was growing up, and I'm surrounded by great friends now, so really and truly like some days it still bothers me, but right now it doesn't. And the fact that she's upset about a coffee mug really doesn't bother me. Welcome to Lizzie. Okay, you gotta go lay down, honey. Can you guys check their water and food situation, maybe? Because all 3 dogs just perked up at hearing that. Welcome to Nigel's world. Nigel is a terror. I love this dog. He's run off with my brand new sock. I don't know where the other one is. I don't know. Nigel took it. The other day I was working on a file. Nigel and Lizzie were playing. Now Nigel weighs 8 pounds. Lizzie weighs 100. Nigel ran under my ottoman where my computer is next to my comfy chair, and Lizzie decided that maybe she fit under there too. Yeah. She does not fit under the ottoman. So yeah. So overall, really and truly, we had a good day. New Year's Eve day, we did taco bar. Yesterday, I essentially, we're watching a friend of mine's sister's cats, and she feeds the stray cats. So twice a day I have to go over, my daughter and I go over there and we feed the stray cat. Mhm. So that started last night. Other than that, yesterday I essentially sat on my butt in my chair. I biked, but I really and truly I sat and I just kind of decompressed, unplugged. I didn't work on work. I clearly we don't have classes yet, so I didn't work on class stuff. Um, I stitched. I stitched on Pikachu because Pikachu has become the bane of my existence. It is the project that never ends. It just goes on, my friends. It is the project that never ends. And it needs to end because I don't want to carry this project into 2022 because I have other plans for 2022 that we will discuss because I have a pile of stuff. Because 2022 is my mission to apparently in 2020 and in 2021 it was the year of Kelly Start Everything. 2019 was kind of my year. Was it maybe in 2020? 2020, because that's when the pandemic hit. 2020 brought me back to cross stitch. Early in the year, kind of brought me back to cross stitch. I was doing little bits here and there, but nothing major. 2020 kind of brought me back to cross stitch. 2021 was the year where I start everything and do everything, and finish hardly anything. I shouldn't say I shouldn't. I have finished quite a bit, but I have a whole lot of whips. And yeah, so 2022 is going to be focusing on let's make some progress and finish up some of these little whips, get them out of the way. Let's not start as much, if, just a few pieces maybe, or presents, but really and truly, let's focus on making some big progress on some of these bigger whips. Because what I've figured out is, through all of this, for the most part, I am a big ass project kind of girl. I like my little finishes here and there, but I am okay with, honestly, getting a page finish. If that's my win, then that's my win. As you will see, Amy, you will be very entertained because we have a lot of very big pieces of fabric to handle during all of this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I've worked on this last week, which is just 2 pieces. And then we'll talk about going forward what I picked for. I'll show you where we are for wipgo, where a lot of those projects overlap with No New Starts, and focusing on 22 pieces in 22. And then as you finish one, then you can fill in like the next one on the list kind of thing. And then I'm also, God willing, Pikachu will be done by Thursday. Fingers freaking crossed. And if that works out, then on Friday from starting at 12 noon, going till midnight, I'm going to do 12 and 12 with Kia B and Pam from Just Keep Stitching on Instagram. It's going on, and it's called 12 and 12. So every hour you either work on a whip or you start a new project, whatever works best for you. I'm working on whips. So you switch out every hour. Now I have made the concession with myself. I have given my permission to myself that should I get into a groove with a project and want to continue stitching on it, that I'm not going to switch it out. Then I'll just keep working on that project. It's not a big deal. I'm also like, I'll stop and I'm not going to worry about it. I'll eat and enjoy meals with my kids and stuff. If we want to play a game or whatnot, we'll do that. And go from there. Yeah, let's see what else has gone on. I made honor roll. I ended up this semester with a 3.625, which is honor roll. It would have been higher had we not had the issue with the one teacher. But you know what? I'm okay. I am so proud of me. And honestly, I owe much gratitude to my daughter for all of her help with my ASL classes. This next semester we have web design together. I'm on my own for ASL because she has to take ASL 2 again, with everything that's gone on. Totally fine with that. And then I also have anatomy and physiology. Yikes. So yesterday I just kind of decompressed. All I did was really and truly I focused on stitching Pikachu. Um, I've really been trying to focus on that the last couple of days, and I feel like I'm super close to having it done, but at the same time I feel like it's gonna take me hours still and in light years. And it may never end. And that's kind of where I'm at. And so on Christmas Eve day, I pulled out a different project. And again, I could have started one of the other ones. I wanted something that was already all totally kitted up so I didn't have to worry about, you know, pulling threads for it or packing all the floss boxes and all that. I just wanted simple and easy. Um, And so I ended up, so I'm going to show you that piece right now. What I pulled out, and so here was my problem, is I had printed out the pattern when I first, got my stitchy box from Stitch Life. And I love this pattern. It's by Chirp and Whimsy. She's on Instagram. She does such beautiful artwork. And she drew the picture for this. And it's called Plant Love in 2021. And I know I have the little picture in here. Her nickname has been, or her name is Penelope. So I had printed out the picture. I didn't realize how close together the blues in her hair got printed. And I couldn't tell on my copy of the pattern the variations. And then I couldn't find the pattern on my hard drive of my computer, which was very frustrating. So Dana very graciously sent me the file, for which I'm eternally grateful, so that I can get this done. Penelope is scheduled for 10 days on wipgo and on my Focus in 22, my 22 and 22. But she's a great project because she came in the cute little bag, and all your floss is already on the floss drops, and they're all labeled. So like it was literally I knew my needle was in here. I could just go. I did not get as much progress done on her because I couldn't tell the difference in the colors. Yeah. So, but I did make some progress on her. I got her hair is almost completely stitched now. Almost. And I got some more grass in. This is, again, it's slated for 10 days on wipgo. I think if I get in 10 days with at least 2 of those being really good, like stitch all day sort of days, she'll get finished in the month that she's pulled. If not, like, I don't know where she'll get, obviously we don't know the numbers. We know January's numbers, but we don't know beyond that. She's not in January. But she's one of those that, like, will be in my bin next to my chair, so that, like, if we're at this point where, like, the spirit moves me and I want to work on her, I will work on her. Because we all know that, like, while I lay out these plans, and they're great plans, if the spirit moves me to work on a piece, then I work on it, honestly. It's not a big deal. So we've been working on Pikachu. It is what it is. I have done, okay, so on the first half, I have just a little bit of more confetti up in here. Really and truly, it's maybe 30 stitches, if that, up here on this portion. And then I just have that little bit down there on that half. So not too bad. So between the top and the bottom, maybe 200 stitches, 250 stitches. Not bad. I may, depending on when I finally get this up and going, maybe we can even knock out that tonight. On the second half, we've gotten a lot further. So I've gotten in tons of this. I've got this little section in here, and there's some confetti here. A little bit through here, in here. But then we start in down there. But really and truly, I think depending on what I do workload wise, which I do have some stuff I definitely need to get taken care of. we may be able to push through. It will be done by the end of the weekend, no matter what, even if I have to stay up all night, because I'm stitch wise, I'm going to take my 2021 until Sunday night. Yeah, because that's just what I'm gonna do. Because it just makes my brain hurt less to do it that way. We'll see. But hopefully, again, I'm hoping to have it done before the weekend. Okay. So that's all the stitching I did, which was still quite a bit of stitching. Don't misunderstand me. So let's talk about plans for going forward for wipgo. So I have my wipgo and my focus, my 22 focus pieces for No New Starts. And then I have my 12 and 12 for Friday if all goes well. They're all kind of mixed up, so we'll go through those one by one. I'll tell you where it is in the lineup. Penelope is on wipgo in 22 and 22. I think she'll be a finish, like I said. I don't see why she wouldn't be. On wipgo, and then I think this is an alternate piece on 22 and 22, but it is Tree of Life by Barbara Anna. You can get it through Nitka Moscow. I think she now has an English website that you can order through. It used to be that you'd message her on Instagram. She'd invoice you and stuff. But they come in these great tubes. And all of the floss is in there. I switched out my fabric just because I don't stitch on linen. So I switched mine out to an Aida. The only bummer is now you can see other people's finishes, but this was the only picture available, and that's not the whole thing. So you did but the floss comes all organized on a floss caddy, floss drop. I don't know what these are called, but they're all organized. That's color palette, super cute. The pattern is super big, which for those of us who are of my age, it's nice and big. The words come in Russian. I don't speak Russian, however, I can follow symbols. And the symbols are, and the numbers are on there. So you can, it's easy to figure out, honestly. Now, if I run out of floss, that may be a challenge, but we'll figure it out. I'm not anticipating running out of floss. Yeah, okay. So that is on my wipgo board for 10 days, and like I said, I think it's an alternate on my 22 and 22. But given that some of the other pieces you'll see are going to they will definitely be finished, I anticipate that even on my focus in 22, this will get pulled up. I also have the Christmas tree, that's the same style, but it's Christmas. Haven't even started that one. Didn't make either list. Didn't make any list as of right now. Okay. I have to order new tires for my Jeep, and I'm waiting on some advice. So yeah, I still don't have the advice. Okay, that's okay. Okay, so the next piece that is on my 22 and 22 as well as wipgo is by Clouds Factory. Now I dyed my piece of fabric myself. It was the first time I ice dyed anything. I think if I was to do this over again, which I am not planning on ever stitching this again, I think this is going to be a one and done with this pattern, just because it is huge. I would probably use a more subtle background, or maybe even a solid background, just because there's so much on the pattern. But excuse me, I'm sorry. So the Epic Disney Princess cell from Clouds Factory is huge, and it goes through, I want to say, Moana. I don't know that I consider Moana a Disney princess, but I'm old school. If you go on Etsy, however, there is Ivory Needle Shop. It's Ivory Needle. Yvette, who is the owner and designer there, has charted out the a lot of the other Disney movies, including Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto, and I think Daisy is in there. She's what is the Black Cauldron, Sword in the Stone, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. So you could really and truly have the epic Disney collection, which of course is what I am doing. So this is slated for 10 days. God knows what I that's where we're starting off. We have the Cinder Castle, kind of, sort of, maybe halfway done, maybe a little bit further. I don't know. Yeah. Needless to say, I don't know how far we'll get in 10 days, but we'll get there. Let's see. Okay. This is hopefully a 12 and 12 piece. This is the Addams Family style. It is available on Etsy. I do not remember offhand who the designer is. If somebody wants to know and is interested, let me know and I will tell you. However, I printed out all of the pattern because I don't just apparently I only do patterns that are like 100 pages and all. I don't know. I dyed my purple fabric. I don't know why purple. I think somebody in the group did purple and I thought that sounded like a fantastic idea. And it looked great and that's what we went with. Started this. My friend Emily and I were going to do it together. I don't think that Emily's even started hers and that's okay because, you know, whatever. If you sell with me, just know that we're going to, like, I don't know, potentially buy the stuff together. Doesn't mean we're going to actually, like, I don't know, best laid intentions. That's as far as I got. This is slated for Friday for one of my 12 and 12s. Who knows where we'll get with it, but in an hour. But, you know, an hour is more than I've worked on it in probably all of this year. Because I think I put those stitches in to get ready for No New Starts in 21. Okay, so up next is on my wipgo and 12 and 22 and 22 pieces, and that would be Funky Menagerie by Lindy Stitches. This is where we're at. All of my wipgo goals are slated for 10 days. I figured 10 days was a nice chunk of time. That means at least 50 stitches for each one of those days. That also gave me some flexibility for days if I didn't feel like stitching or if I needed to stitch on something else, that I could fit that in. Because with everything else going on, I don't know that I'm going to get to stitch every day. Because, God willing, if my back would start playing nicely, we'll be able to start running again. Because I haven't really been able to do that. We're really focusing, my coach and I are focusing in on rebuilding my core, which is just between the back injury and some things. I have essentially no core strength, like compared to what I used to be able to hold a plank for 4.5 minutes easy with very little struggle. I can't even hold one for 30 seconds right now. It is extremely defeating feeling. I am still biking. For those of you who are following me on Instagram, you know that I try to still bike at least 30 minutes every day. So at least my bike is still there. So yeah, so with Ironman, with that goal, and with the Ultra, I've already signed up for my Ultra. I have not paid for Ironman yet. You know, so there's a lot of long training days, some really solid training days going to happen with having 13 credits, with the business picking up and still growing, which I am so thankful for. And one day, God willing, finishing home renovations. It's been a little tricky. The other thing that I need to do by the end of the weekend is, honestly, I want an FFO 99 and 3 small words. I have to paint the board for 3 small words. I bought a new glue gun because I couldn't find all the pieces. I couldn't find the cord to plug in my glue gun. And then I couldn't find the other glue gun, but I could find, I don't know, whatever. They're in a Doom box. Those of you who have ADHD understand Doom boxes. Well, and that and the like the little glue gun, I think I am 99% sure I know where it is. The problem is it's little, and so like when you're trying to do bigger pieces like 99 and three small words, you're putting in a new glue stick like every time you every 3 seconds, and that's just frustrating and irritating. And so I went and bought a new glue gun, and I'm done with it. So that may be one of the other projects that I do this weekend. Actually, it is going to be one of the other projects I do this weekend. I have to paint the board, like I said, for three small words, and yeah. And then just sit there with a glue gun, really. And I have to buy some fabric for three small words. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow while I'm out and about checking on the kitty cats. Joel, you are such a hot mess. So Funky Menagerie again, 10 days on wipgo, and no new starts. Okay, so one of my wipgo pieces that got called already is True Colors by Stitch Light. It is slated for 10 days. I don't think it's going to take me 10 days to finish it. I have the wording halfway done. I think I'm going to leave off the little half Quaker Star border from the top and the bottom, which will make it even go faster, which means I have the butterfly and the pot of flowers and then the second set of words. Words stitch up pretty quickly, and they're all one color, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then it's got the little row of rainbowy, well, there's 3 different colors for the 6 flowers in the middle. But that's a January wipgo goal, and it is on my 22. And like I said, I'm planning on having a finish, and I don't think that will take me 10 days. But stranger things have happened. Okay, next up. Another one of those lovely big-ass projects that I love so much. This one is for my coach. John and I are good friends, so like it doesn't bother me, but it is a 600 by 600 piece. 600 stitches by 600 stitches. He's a big old boy. It is by Unconventional Stitches, and it is really and truly all black and grays and whites. The pattern is 96 pages. Because why not? Because why not? Now, the nice thing about doing full coverage, big-ass pieces like that, it doesn't matter what color your fabric is. So just buy the cheap shit. The cheaper stuff, because seriously, you're not going to see it. So if you can get cream color Aida at $3 a yard from Rita Renee, buy the $3 a yard Aida from Rita Renee if you like to stitch on Aida. That's cream color because it's a full coverage. Who cares? At least that's my theory. Hence, we're on cream color Aida for, I don't even know how to say it. That is where we're at. It is slated for 10 days. Because I want this to take less than 20,000 years, we will be working more on that. Okay. Before I forget this, it has to go back up there so I don't lose it. This piece will become one of my focuses, like Pikachu, after Pikachu is done. But that is, and this is on wipgo and 22 and 22. That is the Marine Corps emblem. Those of you who know me know that this is a gift of love for a friend of mine's husband who is a Marine. But this has been the pattern from hell. I finally got the circle to meet up, only to realize that the circle was supposed to be this color gold, not black. So I have gone in and I'm going to add the second row in the color that it's supposed to be. And then what I'm going to do is just make this section here one narrower. I'm not redoing the whole circle because, yeah, nope. So because I want this for sure done sooner than later, before, God forbid, something happened to Carl, this will become kind of like Pikachu, where I will try to stitch on it almost every day to get it done. Okay, next up, I have not started it. I have not pulled fabric because, yeah. But the Stitchy Penguin and I are stitching Monopoly. However, she's changing hers. I'm not sure if she started it for Christmas. Obviously, I did not, I will start it before the end of the, okay. I will start it soon, in the next week or so. I have to pull, obviously, I have to cut my piece of fabric. I am changing mine because it's going to be for the boy child. It will be Musicopoly, something. I'm going to change the properties to instruments. So like Mediterranean Avenue will become Recorder Avenue. Uh, Baltic Avenue will become Kazoo Avenue. Jail will become Practice Room, uh, and whatnot. So that is on wipgo, and that is on 22 and 22. Okay, we're cruising right along. This is my other piece I got called in for January wipgo, which is awesome because I think that the 10 days we will see a finish with it. And that is But First Coffee by Heartstring Samplery. Did I say that right? Janet Jabber is also doing this one. She's changing hers to tea. However, I drink tea and coffee, but I'm just leaving mine coffee because I don't feel like recharging things. It is halfway done. It's over halfway done. I think in 10 days or less, it will be a finish. I did do a DMC conversion, and then I changed out. I probably shouldn't have added 21. I should probably take it out the 1 and do a 2, but I'm not going to. I changed the initials so that they're the boy child and Beans and mine. So that is a wipgo piece, and a 22 and 22. And it got called in January. Again, I think we'll see a finish on that one as well. So maybe, God willing, in January we'll have both wipgo pieces actually get finished. The other thing that's in my bag is slated for Friday. It did not, because otherwise it did not make wipgo and it did not make 22 and 22, and that's the Sense and Sensibility book club. Clearly, I've made it really far. And it's a really pretty, I dyed the fabric myself based on her instructions, which were awesome. And so, yeah, so that's a Friday piece. Dun, 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 dun. This is also a Friday piece. This is for my friend Shannon. It is a freebie, and I want to say it's in Snarky and Modern cross stitch group on Facebook. It is a freebie. It is a purple Halloween pumpkin. Shannon's favorite color is purples, and her favorite Halloween is the holiday. Her favorite holiday is Halloween. So this is a gift for her. My fabric is way bigger than it needs to be, but that's okay. It would be really helpful if I hung it the right way, but it's not like I have a whole lot done anyways. I'm not sure that 10 days will get this done, but this may be one of those where like I have the extra days in the month. I'm hoping 10 days will get a large chunk of it, that maybe the extra couple days in the month that are available may even see it as a finish. That would be really fantastic, because I would really like that. Okay, so here's another one of my lovely big ass pieces that everybody so loves. This is Pandemic by Long Dog Sampler. It is on my 22 and 22 and on wipgo. I am the nut job who is filling in both the negative and the actual stitching so that it's supposed to replicate the beach. That was my goal. Originally I had wanted like the blue coming in from one way and the sand color coming in from the other and then meshing. My brain couldn't figure out how to make that happen and not look funky. So this was my compromise. Makes sense, right? To compromise like that. So it is slated for 10 days. I think I only have one more page to go over here, or 1.5 pages, I think, which would be fantastic. This may be another one of those. This is usually one of those, had I not been working on Pikachu, like if I just need to pick up and go and I don't want to have to worry about counting and like everything is in my bag as far as tons of the same color floss, but I can just go in and stitch in the negative space and not have to worry about counting. So that is kind of a nice, easy on the brain sort of process. Okay, next up is another lovely gift from my son because I don't know. I do love my son. He says some really dongy things, but whatever. This is the Marvelous Map Project by Ink Circles. And it's really cool. Let me, I don't know where the cover is. God bless it. Essentially, it's you roll your dice to see what element, like where you put your river and how your river ebbs and flows, and where you put a bet, like even which border you do is all done by random roll. So like that's somebody's land, and then they'll go in and put in the river. So it's really kind of cool. Both my kids now play Dungeons and Dragons with their dad. So I started this originally for my son before my daughter started playing. My daughter has other big ass projects she's getting, so she's not getting a map at this point. My son finally decided how big. So I coffee tea dyed and chai tea dyed and then baked it in the oven. My fabric. I'm really sad because I've had this project going for so long, it no longer smells like that, and it makes me sad because it smelled really good. So my son has finally decided how big he wants his map, which really is determinative of other things. It will be, he has said it's essentially up to me. So, but ideally it would be about twice the size of this and square, I think he said. Which seems odd. It doesn't seem like it should be square. It should be a rectangle, because to me it's a map and it should be a rectangle, so that will probably be what it is. But that's where we're at. It is slated for 10 days on wipgo and 22 and 22 focus. We'll see. It would be, I think when I pull it out next, like whenever it's called or I decide to work on it, what I may do is work on getting that black outer border all stitched and finished up so that I can kind of gauge how big it is and then trim my fabric a little bit. Because yeah. Okay. Next up is a project for my daughter. I have not pulled this out in what feels like forever, just because it is such a huge, the fabric is 60 by 96 inches. So it's a big piece, and there is no pattern. It was inspired by I want to say he's Franciscan, but he may not be, but he's a brother. And he did a huge periodic table, and kind of gave general directions, but didn't give any like actual pattern. When I started this, Bean had decided that her major was chemistry and forensic science. Now she has since this semester decided that she's going to go to veterinarian school, and so she's changing her major. However, she said I could keep stitching the periodic table for her. I have like 3 needles in this project because apparently that's what I needed. So this is the upper left side of the periodic table. I have got the black line for the middle that goes all the way across done. It is slated for 10 days. We'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to work on the black part or if maybe I'll start to fill in a square. Maybe I'll do both. Who knows? We don't know. I don't know. Okay. This is a me project. And, you know, I don't have very many projects just for me. But I had one-of-a-kind baby designs on Etsy do the pattern based on a picture I had saw. And it is Van Gogh's Starry Night, and it has a red Jeep, like mine, in it. It's kind of a crappy picture, but you get the idea. I did not get to work on this piece at all this year, which makes me totally sad because I love this piece. And I cannot wait to have this piece hanging somewhere, either in my house or at the office. This is where I'm at on it. It is slated for 10 days. Because again, all my pieces are slated for 10 days. It is a wipgo and a 22 and 22. focus piece. The dog is so yeah. It obviously needs a bigger bag. So there's that. But wait, there's more. There's more. Okay. Before you all come at me again, I know now that I bought a pirated copy. I did not realize that when I bought the pattern originally. I just fell in love with the pattern. So if somebody has a copy, a legit copy that they are willing to sell at a reasonable price, reasonable please, or will loan me that I can make a working copy of so that I don't mar yours up, I will stitch monogamously on this to get it done, and then I will send you back your pattern with some treasures. That said, I dyed my fabric myself so that it all matched because I also have Lady of Justice, and I wanted them, and I actually want to stitch Lady of the Flag. There's some great conversions in the Facebook group, and I couldn't decide which one I wanted. So I was like, well, maybe I'll do more than one, because she's beautiful and she's lost. There she is. So the first one I picked is the white, like silver blue conversion that is available in the Lady of the Flag group. So this is on both my wipgo and 22 and 22. She's just absolutely beautiful. I have some more surprises as far as conversions on her that I have planned. I did make her a redhead like my son, because I wanted to. But yeah, I have not done any of the beading yet. I will wait till and do that last because I don't know how long it's going to take me, and I don't want to have beads sitting on one section, but I'm just waiting. It just makes sense in my brain, and if it doesn't make sense in anybody else's brain, I don't know. But it makes sense to me. I have the hiccups. I have the hiccups. Oh, la la la. Let's see. Okay. Next up is a wipgo 22 and 22, and that is Magic Study by Hade. It's an Amy Stewart, I want to say. No, Michelle Sayetta. She's beautiful. It was a gift, which I am extremely grateful for. Janet Jabber is doing this. Candace K is doing this. I started it. I have not gotten very far because life. And because I have a million times. Again, last year was Let's Start Everything. This past year was Let's Start Everything. We didn't finish a whole lot. We just made some progress on some things. So I started it. It is my wipgo and my focus at 22 and 22. And I have no idea why I have some of these pins in here on this board, but I do. So that's how far we got. I know. It's impressive, isn't it? It's not even 100 stitches. It might be 100 stitches now that I look at it. It might be 100. It's not much more. Nope. It's not. Okay. So that brings us to Friday. This is a piece that, if I was going to spend more than 1 hour on it, and this may be one that moves me that I need to just spend more than 1 hour on it on Friday. That is Anne Frank by Gira. It is from available on Creative Puppies. I love this piece. It is on a piece of self-dyed fabric with all of the called fors. I think if I decide to ever stitch it again, which would be kind of weird for me. I don't generally stitch pieces more than once. I would leave off the plains. Honestly, I would leave off the plains. I am still debating. There's part of me that is thinking that maybe I debate whether I should pick it out, and I was like, no. And then there's a border down here of like barbed wire, and I'm kind of debating leaving that off. So I'm like, well, if you've got the planes on there. Maybe you should leave the barbed wire on. So I don't know. But this is a Friday piece. An hour's not going to get it finished, but um, it'll get me farther than what I'm at now. And that's not to say, again, if Friday, if I moved to keep stitching on it, then I will just keep stitching away. Okay. Oh, don't want to lose that. I was wondering why. Okay, so next up is a Friday piece, and that is Hugs by Barbara Laverly. She is an Alaskan artist. She has some beautiful children's books, and one of them I used to read to the kids when they were little. I started this in February. I don't know. Or maybe it was a March Madness start, and then it didn't get advanced, and that's why it's not any further. This is a Friday piece. It did not make wipgo for some reason. I don't know, because I absolutely love this piece. I love this story that I read. Like I said, I used to read it to the twins, which is why I was drawn to it. However, clearly I did not get very far on it because all I have is like, I've started the mama's hair. That's it. So that is a Friday piece. Okay, here's the next Friday piece. This is the one that got, a couple of my friends were like, and Pam was like, I'm rather curious about you and the Mitch McConnell piece. And I was like, yeah, because if you know me, you know that I am not a Mitch McConnell fan at all. In fact, I think that Mitch McConnell is a butthead. And I'm trying to be nice, and I'm trying to be a little PC, and I'm not generally either. But on Etsy, there is a pattern, and it's about Mitch McConnell, and it says a blue whale's anus can open up to 40 inches, making it the biggest asshole on earth next to Mitch McConnell. And so that is slated for Friday to work on, because I did not make it very far except for, wait, I think that's my whale. Clearly I have to figure out which way it goes first. And I actually need to reprint my pattern, because somehow I'm missing part of the whale's face. So that is a Friday piece. Let's see. This is by Four Boys and an NL Girl. She did a sal about the ocean, not like a nautical sal. It's an awesome. Bendy Stitchy did it. Michelle. My lobster's off. I'm not unpicking him and moving him over. That's what I decided. Clearly I got my frame done. I got the frame done and the lobster, and that was it. I think this is slated on Friday. I think. Okay. Let's see. On Friday. This is a Friday for sure. This is Patio Crabby, which I find absolutely hysterical. I did not get very far on Patio Crabby, which I actually find rather odd. Patio Crabby is the crab wearing, there you go, wearing the little St. Patrick's Day hat. He is a Friday stitch. I did not make it very far last year. So hopefully on Friday we'll get a little bit further on him. That is the shamrock that he is holding in his hand. Hopefully, at least in the hour, we can get the shamrock done. Maybe start on his claw. I am using all of the DMC. I know he's charted, I want to say in mostly DMC. He is got a Weeks Dye Works, the red for Louisiana hot sauce. I did not do that. I found a DMC that I went with. Let's see. This is a Friday stitch. It is the bookshelf Sal from Galliana Cross Stitch. She's on Etsy. She's also on Instagram. She does fantastic samplers. Look, even on little paper, little things I have to still search. I am using a variegated sulky. I actually really like the coverage on this. I don't know why. I think I was starting to get worried that my piece wasn't long enough. So I may keep working down the one side of the pattern. But that is slated for Friday. Yeah, because clearly I was thinking, like, what the, like, where was my brain? Like, why? What? So I have decided, yeah, I have decided that next Christmas I am going to be sitting on a beach in Florida drinking fruity cocktails with umbrellas in it. Um, because yeah, because yeah, because I'm done. Okay, so this is another one of those on Friday. If I was going to solely work on this on Friday, I probably could knock it out or a vast majority of it and finish it. However, I'm not. But we'll at least get another hour into it, and that is Asked Not by the Resting Eagle. That's where we're at. I didn't say I was very far on any of these. Dreaming Girl. Dreaming Girl made my 22 and 22. I do not see where it made it on wipgo, which is very weird that it wouldn't have made it on wipgo, but it made it on. Okay, but whatever. It's Dreaming Girl by Barbara Anna. I also have the other Dreaming Girls, Dreaming of Clem, Dreaming of. Haven't started those. This is on a beautiful piece of fabric that was gifted to me by a Secret Santa from, I want to say, my sorority. I think it is Bewitched Witch's Brew by Bee Stitch Me, is what I think it is. That is as far as I got on Dreaming Girl. It is a focus on 22 and 22, so this must be one of those that, you know, on those extra days in a month where I'm not sure what else to do. We'll pull that out. Why it's in a honey stinger, like my gels for racing bag? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Oh, let's see. What is this? What is? Oh, this is The Wonders of the Solar System sale by Climbing Goat Designs. If you are into space, her designs are amazing. Highly recommend them. Not only does she give you like the stitch, but then she would tell you about the planet or whatever it was. So very cool. This is on my wipgo and my 22 and 22. I am hoping, I don't think in 10 days I'll get it finished, but maybe over the year I will have it finished. This was one that Bean and I were going to work on together. Yeah. Life. We decided to go to school together instead. That's all I can do. Okay. Let's see what's. Oh, okay. This is on my 22 and 22, and this will make my wipgo board for least favorite stitch. It's got nothing to do with the design. I love the design. I don't know why this has just been. I don't enjoy. I'm not sure why I don't enjoy working on it, but I don't. It is Santa's Travels by Barbara Anna. I don't know. It needs to just be done because I really, yeah. I love it when like I see other people. I absolutely love it again when I see other people's. I have a hard time bringing myself. It is literally one of the last things I want to grab. And again, I don't exactly know why. Let's see, what is this? Okay, this is on my wipgo board, and it is on 22 and 22. That is the unicorn I call it the unicorn tapestry, but that is not what it's called. But I don't. What the heck is it? It is the fantastical. What is it called? I call it the unicorn. It's on my thing. Trans Pride tapestry. It is on my wipgo and my 22 and 22. So this is the left side. Clearly, I have quite a bit to do. I don't know that 10 days. Okay, let's be honest. 10 days ain't gonna get this done. It's not. It's just not. But you know, it's better than nothing. And then, brilliant me on the same piece of fabric, without cutting them apart because I don't know why I didn't. Clearly, again, Florida next year. So if you know of, I'm thinking of the Fort Lauderdale area, just because it's close to the man. It's close to friends and stuff that live down there. Do I book on Airbnb? Do I book on Verbo? Like, how do you do this? Okay. So also on here, and she is slated. Is she slated? She's not. That's weird. Okay. She's not even on for some reason, my mermaid didn't make it on my board. Do you want to see her? Well, I'll show you because I don't know. That's so weird. So this is by Kristen, the Arctic Ocean Mermaid by Meridian Designs, who does fantastic. I have like half of the top row of icicles done. And then, yeah, that's all. I don't know if you can see it even. It's in Krynic. It's very pretty. I can't believe my mermaid didn't make my list. I self-dyed that fabric, and I actually really, really love it. I have no idea what these stitches are over here. I don't know. That's what happens when you wait so long to work on stuff. You forget what you're doing. Okay, so this is a wipgo on 22 and 22, and there goes my pile of stuff. My tower is toppling. And that would be the monofolk embroidery stitch along from this year. Clearly, I did not make it very far. And the reason I put it down and did not pick it back up is because I'm an idiot. No, it's actually not. It's because there's a counting error over here, and I'm one over too many, and I didn't want to unpick because I hate doing that, and I didn't know where my error is, and so I'm trying to figure out how to fudge it. And that's the truth. So, at some point we are going to have to figure it out because that is slated on both my 22 and 22 and my wipgo board. So it's getting at least 10 days of work. Okay, this is also on my wipgo board in 22 and 22. This is by Lakeside Needle, and that is their Matryoshka doll cell. I love Matryoshka dolls. Clearly, though, I set her down. This is month 1. There's 12. This is month 1. I don't know why I set it down and didn't pick it back up, but I didn't, and I don't know. So hopefully in 10 days we can at least finish doll number 1. And what I may do is so the pattern is set up where they're all together, but what I'm thinking now is that I may do them as 12 individuals, and that's literally the size, which may seem kind of big. But what I'm thinking, it's it's not too big. I mean, it's not any bigger than those Prairie Schooler Santas, right? So she'd be kind of a cool little ornament. Or a little pillow for a dough bowl. Or maybe like 12 separate little frames if I keep Matryoshka dolls in my kitchen, which I don't think we are, but just in case. Oh, we're nearing the end, folks. Let's see. This is also on my my wipgo board. This is the Zimmerman coverlet, which I absolutely love. And the reason I put it down, and I tend not to grab it, it's not because I don't love it. I absolutely do. Okay. My issue is, I don't know if you guys can see it. This is my floss. Okay, it's this lovely variegated. Am I the only one that just like sucks at actually stitching with variegated? because mine doesn't look variegated. It just looks muddy. And I have no patience for doing one X at a time, which I think is what I probably actually do need to do. But yeah. Actually, is this the way it goes, or does it go like this? I'll figure it out. But the other thing is there's a counting mistake in here, although I think I'm fudging it. But then I get mad at myself because there's a counting mistake, and it's like, should I rip it out and fix it? And I don't know. Then I have to figure out where the mistake is, and yeah. Let's see what else is in my box. Let's see. Oh, just one more. Okay, so here is also on my wipgo board. Again, we started everything. We didn't finish hardly any sale. I don't think I finished a single sale last year. I started them all. This, I know. Can you tell what it is? Can you? That would be Cloud's Factory. There is no Planet B, which I absolutely loved. And now we'll go fantastic. Look, I printed. I think will look fantastic in Bella's veterinary clinic when she goes to work. In years. Can't you tell? So that is slated for 10 days. Thank goodness. Hopefully it's going to be one of those that I feel pulled to do more on, because clearly it needs more. Okay, so here's the other. This will end up being a gift. I talked about this last week. This is not going to be on a Friday. On Friday that I start any of these. However, this will get done over the year. And that they're by Country Spirits Collection. I know that I bought them from a shop on Etsy. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember the name of the shop. They're by Homespun Elegance. And they're the truck series. That one's for beach. There's Christmas. There's 4th of July. There's Halloween. There's another Christmas. There's Easter, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. There's a Halloween. They're super, super cute. Now, the one thing that I will say that I am planning to do, because I'm me, I'm going to brighten up some of the colors. I'm not sure if it's the photos or if it's the background picture, like fabric that they've picked. But to me, the colors are muddy. They're just kind of muddy. And I guess, in all fairness, they're probably country colors. And I'm just not a country, like that muddy, primitive kind of colors. Like to me, those are shamrocks. Those should be bright green. And they're like this dark green. So I will probably, like, I love this beach one. But that sun should be bright yellow to me. So I will probably do some color converting on those. But I think they will be super cute in Hillbilly Candles when they get the shop. On the little, like on the, where the cash register is, that those will look cute. So that is my plan with those. So yeah, the other things that I do want to do, I have the cookie exchange, so I'd like to get that done. And I have the gingerbread house to finish. But so like, and then the other 22 starts that I have slated are my Tropical Quaker, the Science Quaker, and then the Turtle Quaker will get plugged in when one of the others are finished. And then in February, like I said, I'm going to do the self-love sampler. Oh, and then on Friday too, I'm planning on working on Harriet Tubman. And I didn't see her in my stack, so I gotta find Harriet. Um, I don't know where she went. I thought she was in my bin, but she's not in my bin. The other question is, so I have all the fabric because, you know, why not collect a million things? Do I sit and somehow find time to sit and sew a bunch of project bags and make sure that, like, so that everything is now, because I have a lot that don't have project bags, and have them all labeled so that I can just grab, okay, this is like square number 2. And so they're all the same size and whatnot, or essentially the same size. But there's going to be variations if I sew them because I'm, you know, or do I just order a bunch of bags off of Amazon and then use my Cricut to make the vinyl stickers for the number and the name of the project to put on the cover? And then they would be all the same, although some of these fabrics clearly are not going to fit in those bags. So then it's like, I need more hours. But that is like literally and truly, that is the goal for the rest of the week for Friday. And even if I switch, like if I work all day Friday so that, you know, New Year's Eve day, I finish Pikachu and then do 12 on 12 on New Year's Day, fine with that. Fine with that. I just really and truly, I need Pikachu done. I need it off my shoulders. I just, um, so yeah. So that's where we're at. I don't think I've missed anything. I think we've covered it all. It's kind of where I'm at. Let's see. We know for least favorite whip, it's going to be Santa's Travels. For, let's see, the oldest whip, I'm not even sure. There may be a different older whip on my shelf, so I've still got to go through and figure that out. And then I have the closest to being finished whip. And so it really kind of depends. What I'm going to automatically disqualify from that chapter or that section is Penelope, But First Coffee, and True Colors. Anything that has a square already set isn't, I'm not gonna like count that there, if that makes sense. Excuse me. So I'll have to figure out what is the next closest. It may be one of the ones that I work on Friday, which again I'm fine because if we, you know, some of these I know I'm not going to finish. Clearly, John's present, I'm not going to finish this year. The, you know, Magic Study, I'm not going to finish this year. Jeep Van Gogh, I'm not going to finish this year. But if we were close to like a page finish, again, I'm going to use those extra days each month, extra days each month to kind of maybe make some more progress on things. Clearly, after Pikachu is done, like I said, Marine Corps emblem comes front and center just because that is a gift for somebody. So we'll see. You know, the only sale that's kind of intrigued me so far is again by Clouds Factory, and that's the dinosaur alphabet that I would then use for a friend of mine as a gift. But I'm not sure. Like, I don't want like if the dinosaurs are like, you know, Allosaurus, Brontosaurus, you know, and they are like that, then that's great. But I don't want like I don't want it to look too baby-ish. Like I don't want like the letter A with a dinosaur or the dinosaur in the shape of an A. If that makes sense. So that's why I'm kind of waiting to see. And I haven't bought into it yet because I want to see what the at least the first month looks like and then we'll go from there. That is so far the only one that's really kind of piqued my curiosity so far. Now that's not to say that tomorrow somebody won't come out with something and we'll go from there. Some of the other projects that I would like to get done, well, and start as I finish up things. Obviously, we have the self-love one, but then I'd like to do the No More sampler, also by Birdie's Crossing, and the Fuck Trump sampler, or Quaker, or whatever you want to call it, with the Morse code. Um, Other than that, we're just going to keep plugging along. We'll start classes again on the 10th, but I'll see you guys before then. We'll see how things go. I won't give the lady back Pikachu until, well, clearly it has to be finished, and I've got to wash it, because it's been handled a lot, and a lot of it's white, and that's just the way it is. But I've also got to wash all the background out of it. It's one of those stamped ones that you do that, and she doesn't know how to do that. So she's asked if I asked her if she wanted me to do it, and she said yes. But you guys will see that before I give it to her. I will make sure of that. So it may be that I film earlier on Monday than later next week. I don't know. So, but yeah. Otherwise, that's it. I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna clean up my stacks of stuff and maybe make it a little bit more organized, going in like separating out Friday stuff versus wipgo stuff. Making a list of what I need to finish printing out, and getting stuff together a little bit more organized. I need to clean the bike room. That's what we call it, which really it's a craft room, where all my stuff is just kind of shoved. Welcome to my life. My whole house is sort of like that. Everything just kind of shoved in randomly. I'd like to find some time to finish painting the living room and then hang some stuff. And you guys, before I mail the 99 to Jason, I will make sure you guys see that too. So that won't go in the mail before next Tuesday, apparently. It's okay. Jason's fine with that. He's kind of got his thought on where he's going to hang it. He's super excited. I just, what I realized is when I cut that board, the board back down for it, I don't have a nice router or anything to finish those edges. And that's going to look kind of janky. And I don't want it to look janky, not after spending that much time on stitching it. So I've joked that I'm going to cut the board kind of close to size, but not really. And I'm going to send it to him, not totally glued together, because his son does some woodworking. And I'll just let him like frame it out, which I think is really cruddy to do too. So if somebody's got a suggestion on how to make that not look junky, I'd really appreciate it. And we'll go from there. So, with that said, have a safe and happy and healthy and wonderful New Year's celebration, however you decide to celebrate. Be wise, be smart. If you're going out and you're drinking, please call an Uber or something. There's tons of programs out there, no matter where you live. I'm sure there's something. If you're closer, I'd come get you, even though I really don't want to go out on New Year's Eve. The other good news, if you're in the Michigan area, or you're coming this way, sometime in the spring, I want to say February maybe, the designers from, oh God, I'm totally blanking. I can see her face. Oh my gosh. In Monroe, they're going to start Riverview Stitching. You can follow them on RETM. The ladies from RETM are opening a stitch shop, a local stitch shop in Monroe. If you're coming to this area and you watch me, and you're coming to their shop, let me know. That's just over an hour south of me. Like, it's not a bad drive. I drive that regularly. It's not a big deal. I'll meet you down there for lunch or something. Or from Stitch, like they're gonna have a Stitch area with tables and stuff. We'll sit and stitch and talk. I would love that. Like, so I think it's Riverview Stitch Shop, not Riverside, because Riverside is where the Music Man is. Is it the Music Man with the 96 trombones? I clearly need more sleep. So that said, I'm gonna say goodnight. I hope you guys are all doing well. Again, reach out if there's anything that I can do to help support you. Just let me know. No matter how crazy my life gets, I am and will always remain there for friends. And we'll do what I can. It's just the way I am. That's the way my kids are. Deal with it. That's what I tell my friends. Deal with it. I'm your friend. So yeah. So we'll see you next week. Happy stitching. We'll see you in 2022.